Coming up on Fulton Today, new building codes for residential property, including deck construction. We'll have details on the changes. And the fire department hits the street to help keep residents safe in their homes. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. The county updates citizens on new construction codes for residential property, including mandatory standards for building decks. Planning and Community Development held a special educational session on the new requirements that went into effect in January. Michelle McCauley is here now to tell us about those changes. She is the Assistant Director with Planning and Community Development. Michelle, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So tell us the importance about the type of session on the updated residential construction codes.
Well, what we're doing here today is we're presenting classes to our builders on the new codes that went into effect in January of this year. This is important because there's been significant changes in the code, and we want to make sure that the homes are being built in South Fulton meet that code.
And what are some of the major changes?
Well, there's three main categories of changes that have happened in the code. And first relates to changes in technology. Now we can have wireless smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors in our homes. Some changes relate to making our homes more green. So now you can have a water heater in your home. The farthest fixture from that water heater can be 50 feet. Previously, it could be 100 feet, meaning that when you're in your shower and you turn your water on, that water used to be able to travel up to 100 feet in that pipe before it reached your shower head. Now it only has to travel 50 feet. So that's a dramatic reduction in the amount of water that's being used in your home. The last changes really relate to safety. Unfortunately, we've all heard cases of people's decks collapsing in large parties. Now, the code requires that all decks be built to a specific engineering standard, which will hopefully prevent those unfortunate accidents in the future.
And Michelle, tell us a little bit about the role of your office and concerning construction projects and these new regulations.
What our office is we're the permitting authority for unincorporated South Fulton County, meaning that anyone who wants to build a new home, alter their home, build a new business has to come through our office to get a permit.
And what kind of advice do you have for residents or businesses who plan to do some construction?
Well, the first and the best piece of advice I would give everyone is to call our offices. Meaning if you're going to do any project in your home, move a wall, add new walls, cover a patio, cover a deck, what you need to do is call us and find out what kind of permit you need. I realize that some people may feel like getting a permit is a hassle, but let me tell you why it's important. Because you're pulling a permit, that means our inspectors are going to come to your home and make sure that any work that is done according to the code. So it's really for your safety, and we're here to service you.
And finally, where can residents go to get more information?
For more information on those regulations, you can contact our office at 404-612-7800, or of course you can click on the link in our department website by going to fultoncountyga.gov and looking for Planning and Community Services. This information is also on the State of Georgia Department of Community Affairs website because these codes apply across the whole state of Georgia, not just in Fulton County.
All right, Michelle McCauley with Planning and Community Development. Always great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Now again, for additional information, you can visit the Planning and Community Development page on the county's website. Well, voters are beating the rush and casting their ballots early for the May 20th primary election. The county has expanded early voting times and locations until May 16th.
I have voted for many years, and this was as streamlined as it could be. They ask you for your driver's license, they put that in the machine, and that automatically gave the precinct and the correct ballot.
If you don't vote early, you will have to vote at your specific precinct on Election Day, May 20th. Redistricting changed voting locations for many citizens this year. New precinct cards have been mailed out, so check to make sure you are voting in the right location.
They can also go to fultonelections.com, and we have a map viewer there that has the voting districts in it. All you have to do is put in your address and you'll find out what districts you're in and your polling location.
May 16th is the last day to request an absentee ballot. For your vote to be counted, you must turn the ballot in before the polls close on Election Day. If you'd like information on absentee ballots, voting locations, and times, call the Registration and Elections Office or log on to their website. Stay tuned to FGTV on Election Day. We will have live coverage all throughout the day and evening. The Sheriff's Office offers a behind-the-scenes look at the jail and the justice system through its Citizens Academy program. The 6-week community program gives residents a better understanding of the day-to-day operations of the office. The first class included an overview of the office and introductions from the sheriff and his chief deputies.
They'll learn the functions, the general functions. We do 6 weeks, 2 hours each, so we can't go into as much detail as we want, but they'll have an idea of the overall functions of the sheriff's office, how we utilize the budget, the different initiatives that we have as far as the community is concerned, and also our role in law enforcement, and they'll get to see and learn how the jail functions.
There was also a demonstration of a potentially life-saving maneuver.
6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, okay? So that's what we're after.
For the students, it was an interesting and educational introduction to the office.
I think today was to learn how complex the sheriff's organization is, how large it is, and the scope, the span of operation and control.
Classes will also include a close-up look at the sheriff's crime-fighting arsenal and its most popular attraction, the county jail. Fire officials say that a working smoke detector is one of the best ways to survive a fire in your home.
We're conducting a smoke alarm blitz.
So members of the fire department stopped by a South Fulton neighborhood to install smoke detectors and to replace batteries in existing ones. Joining us now to talk about this campaign is Deputy Chief Jack Butler. Sir, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So as we mentioned, you're going door to door. How often do you all find that a home either does not have a smoke detector or that it's not working?
It depends on the age of the subdivision. Generally, we always find a smoke detector in the home. The question becomes, is it working or is it not working, and the age of it. When it comes to the age, anything over 10 years old, we try to replace them with a new one. Those that we find that are not working, sometimes they just need a battery, so we change the battery out. And those that we find that are over 10 years or there's not a working smoke detector, we install a new one.
And speak to us about how critical these detectors are in terms of minimizing injury and even death.
When it comes to saving lives, the smoke detectors are your first line of defense when it comes to detecting a fire in the house when you're asleep or in your absence or you're not paying attention. Obviously, if you can prevent the fire from starting or that minimize the injuries, but the smoke detectors are very critical.
And you know, folks are out there thinking, how can we get the fire department to come to our community?
Well, they can call us at Fulton County Fire Department, area code 404-612-5700. Just ask to speak to someone in reference to a smoke detector blitz, and we can get your information, contact you, and set something up.
And Deputy Chief, let me get your final thoughts.
One of the things about smoke detectors is that they are just the first line of defense. They're there, they're always on, as long as you keep the batteries in there. We recommend that during the time changes, when you spring forward, change your batteries. When you fall backwards, change your batteries. Changing your batteries twice a year, and if you do that, you will never hear that annoying chirping sound.
Deputy Chief Jack Butler, always great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Now, if you would like more information about the Fire Safety and Smoke Detectors campaign, call the Community Risk Reduction Division at 404-612-5700. Well, it's all about tax matters during week 4 of Fulton County Citizens University. Tax Commissioner Dr. Arthur Ferdinand talked about his duties and responsibilities and explained the difference between his office and the tax assessor's office.
I'm responsible for billing, for mailing the bills, for collecting it, making sure it's collected right, and value problems are resolved by the Board of Assessors. So I just want to separate the two.
The commissioner also discussed real estate and personal property taxes. The presentation drew plenty of questions from the students.
One of the things I didn't know was the difference between a tax allocation district and a, I believe, community improvement district, and just how that's formed, how businesses and/or residents decide to pay more taxes than they are assessed, which I find amazing. But for the reasons that they have it, I think it's awesome.
Dr. Ferdinand's presentation, it was excellent. It was excellent. Witty, entertaining, and informative. We're actually blessed to have someone like him in this position. I mean, someone who's fearful, who's fearless, and unapologetic for the tough job that he's had to do.
From taking care of your finances to taking care of your health. Next week, students learn more about the county's health services. And still to come, Parks and Recreation score a big win with some new equipment. We'll tell you all about it in our district by district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
County youngsters get new equipment to prepare them for the big leagues, and a county commissioner and a health director address health care issues for the poor. Here's this week's district by district coverage. District 5 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell officially introduced a resolution commemorating the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Civil Rights Act. Following President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963, President Lyndon Johnson carried out Kennedy's proposal and signed the act into law in 1964. Strongly advocated by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the law was designed to provide equal citizenship and protection to racial minorities in the country.
Whereas the world points to this legislation as a seminal event in the history of the United States and is celebrating its passage and enforcement this year. Now, therefore, be it resolved that upon the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Board of Commissioners hereby recognizes the men and women whose bravery and efforts at social and legal change paved the way for future generations and whose work continues to inspire today.
The resolution also states that the Civil Rights Act laid important groundwork for a number of other pieces of legislation, including the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The county's health director joins other health officials for a conversation about health care for the poor, the Georgia dilemma. St. Joseph's Mercy Care Hospital hosted the program where health leaders discussed the status of the region's most plaguing health issues that included budget and policy needs.
With the panel, we discussed issues and strategies regarding health care for the homeless. This is a critical issue for us to address. The Fulton County Board of Commissioners has always been supportive to safety net services, and certainly our partners who provide safety net services in the county are critical.
St. Joseph's Mercy Care Services was created in 1985 by volunteer nurses and physicians and grew into a medical home. St. Joseph's services are available to uninsured and underinsured patients. And finally, in District 7, aspiring big leaguers in South Fulton now have some new equipment to help them perfect their game. 2 new batting cages have been installed at the Old National Park. In partnership with the Fulton County Recreation Authority and the City of Atlanta, Fulton's Parks and Recreations Department received a total of 6 new cages and pitching machines.
Now we're able to get our children trained properly, using the same kind of equipment other folks use, and these batting cages are essential. So we welcome them as a good thing in South Fulton, and we appreciate the Recreation Authority for donating.
The other 4 batting cages and pitching machines will be installed in other county parks, which is just in time for the new baseball season. And still to come, it's time to celebrate our most valued citizens. It's Older Americans Month. Stay with us.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Well, this month, the county is joining the rest of the country in honoring older Americans, and there are a lot of events to celebrate. Sarah Hilton is with the Office of Aging, and she's here to tell us what's going on. Hey, Sarah, thanks for being with us.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's get straight to it. Highlight some of the events for this year's Older Americans Month.
The Fulton County Office of Aging has a variety of activities to celebrate Older Americans Month, which include community days, art appreciation events, line dancing events, senior university days, and time to thank our volunteers who support us every day. And Fulton County takes the opportunity in the month of May to celebrate our senior participants as well as our volunteers.
And tell us all about this year's theme.
This year's theme is Safe Today, Healthy Tomorrow. And Fulton County is focusing on safety for seniors. And safety includes everything from medication management to fall prevention to staying safe at home to identity protection. So we are bringing this to light this year during Older Americans Month, and we really want seniors to gain control over some areas to help them protect themselves so they can live long and healthy lives within the community.
And Sarah, speak to some ways that older Americans can avoid injuries and stay safe.
There's a number of ways that seniors can remain safe and avoid injury. First off, if seniors are taking medication, if you're taking medication, you would always want to check with your doctor on a regular basis to let your doctor know how your medications are affecting you, if there's some side effects that you're feeling, but you want to make sure that you talk to your doctor right away about any effects that you are having with your medication. So medication safety is one area. Also, fall prevention is another area that we definitely encourage seniors to make sure that they're safe within their homes. And that's everything from making sure that electrical cords are tucked away and stored properly, that loose rugs are secured to the floor, to making sure that you have all your lights working and then you don't have any light bulbs missing, because safety is very important within the home. So home safety is very important, medication safety, as well as identity protection and fire safety. So there's a number of ways that seniors can remain safe, and Fulton County Office of Aging provides education and resources to encourage seniors to remain safe within their home and in the community.
And there are a lot of county services that seniors can take advantage of. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Fulton County Office of Aging provides a number of resources, which include transportation, home repair, in-home services. We even have neighborhood senior centers and multi-purpose facilities. All services are geared to help seniors remain safe, active, and continue to age successfully within the community.
All right, Sarah Hilton with the Office of Aging, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to covering some of the Older Americans Month events.
Thanks for having me.
Now, to see the full calendar or to find out about more senior programs, you can call the Star Line. Well, various religious leaders come together to help improve the health of their congregations. The Interfaith Coalition of Fulton County taught the group how much chronic diseases are impacting people. The summit focused on heart and lung disease as well as diabetes. The coalition also stressed how important it is to get health screenings, eat a balanced diet, and exercise on a regular basis.
We're talking about health literacy, but also we're talking about financial literacy, so you can see how they go hand in hand, health and economics. And the ultimate goal is to get a healthy community and provide the gatekeepers the tools that they can take to their congregations.
I came out today to gain knowledge of the health problems in the community that I minister in, so that I might offer some support to a healthy living, as well as a mental living, as well as a spiritual living.
The goal is to then have those religious leaders spread that message to their congregations. And still to come, the tips that will keep the pest away. Stay with us.
You're watching Fulton Today.
The artist who changed the look of this very building is helping to celebrate the grand opening of the Aviation Community Cultural Center. In 2001, David Landis created the bird artwork that is soaring through the government center.
The whole goal of mine was to create something that would reflect the colors of the space, that would help add to the space but not become a centerpiece. I wanted it to be an accent more than a destination.
He recently spoke about his artwork while promoting the grand opening for the Aviation Community and Cultural Center. The Arts and Culture Department is holding several events that tie into the theme of flight and aviation for the center. Now, the center's grand opening is May 15th at 10 a.m. on the grounds of Fulton County's Brown Field. Arborists and homeowners find new ways to keep the pest away. The Cooperative Extension Office held the Invasive Pest Seminar to teach people how to treat and prevent serious infestations.
We're demonstrating a methodology to help protect trees from insects that come here from other places. They call them invasive insects. And we're protecting the trees in a way that's very environmentally friendly and yet very effective.
The seminar also showed how to identify the emerald ash borer, which is a highly destructive green beetle. Fulton Cooperative Extension hosts monthly classes on gardening, nutrition, and financial management. To get more information, call 404-332-2400. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs here on FGTV. Go to our website to take a survey. You can also email at fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can follow us on twitter.com/FGTV, find us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.